What's up, everybody? Well, I got another Steam Deck OLED and LCD gameplay video for you guys today. And today, we're gonna try this AI Limit game out. It looked kind of like an anime-esque Souls game. I thought, oh, that'll be fun. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of suck at these games, but for some reason, I have a lot of fun with them. I love losing a bunch and then finally figuring out, oh, that's how you beat that. You know? It's just fun. And then I feel really, really satisfied when I finally do it. Even though I know I'm not good or whatever, and other people have come in there and been like, oh yeah, I did this my first try effortlessly. Took me like 5 seconds. He's like, okay, that's cool. Took me like 6 days, but hey, it's whatever. But we're gonna go ahead and see how this game runs on the Steam Decks first here, as they are the weakest system I own. And I usually go from the weakest up to the most powerful, but there's a couple outliers. The small form factor PC just kind of got thrown into the mix. Obviously, it's not weaker than my Asus G15 Advantage and whatnot. And then my TV PC is the only other one that got thrown out there. That's my old main PC, and obviously it's not more powerful than a 9800 X3D and a 5090, but it's still the very last PC I do. But it has the badass TV hooked up to it, so some people would rather play on that, even though it's weaker than my C1, that's 48 inches. Still OLED and awesome, but that 77-inch Samsung 144 Hz 4K thing is awesome. Games are so immersive on that thing. Probably even more immersive than my ultra-wide monitor, which is hard to do. Those are pretty fucking immersive. Anyway though, I'm gonna stop blabbering on and on here, so let's hook this LCD model up first to the capture computer, and let's go get started, shall we?
Alright, so we'll start with the default. Now, funny enough, at the very end on the Allies, before going off to the Firebat, I realized this game had a Steam Deck mode. Why it doesn't default to that, I don't know, but I did my due diligence. And after low, we'll plop that in. But anyway, let's get into the game, shall we? Alright, now we're going to die low. And again, sorry for the people that like me doing the voiceovers and the screen recorded portion there. I just made way too many videos for myself. Because it's mostly Denuvo's fault. But who knows? Some people might like this better. Anyway, after this, we'll do the Steam Deck. Now we'll do the OLED, so we'll just do the default, just like we did on the other system. Again, I don't know why it doesn't default to its own Steam Deck settings. It's also weird, sometimes it defaults to Chinese. Which, luckily, I played in English a couple of times here and went to the settings screen more than enough times before it did that to me. So I knew exactly how to fix it. But anyway, do the game!
精致的追寻者。编织者阿斯特瑞亚已在此等候多时，很高兴看到你平安抵达此处。
这是什么地方？
这里位于海问斯威尔城南边的地下深处，是旧时。
这是金枝，
如你所见，这株金枝已经损坏很久了。如此一来，这株精致的，请收下这些，这是能够修补身体损伤的捷路。只要与精枝相连，便能再次补充。请善加使用。怎么了？
接触金枝的时候，看到了奇怪的幻象，我似乎沉在水中。
或许是残留在精枝之中的，你
失去的记忆。
只要继续追寻精枝，总有一天能够取回你。
追寻精枝，
离开这地下，唯有踏上旅途，你才能理解一切。为此，做出选择吧。那么，你接受了最初的使命，前进的道路，以去接触人类。找到四散的精枝。
特瑞亚大人早就叮嘱过，这下面全是虚人，千万别靠近。你还非得招惹那只虚兽，结果伤成这样。唉，那垃圾场，新来的嘛，不想被虚人吃掉的话，就……
Well, alright. After doing the allies, I realized there was a Steam Deck setting, so I had to go back and try the Steam Deck settings on the Steam Decks. I was like, there's no way I can't do that. But it doesn't obviously run the best on these settings, though, if I'm honest. But hey, you guys can be the judge of that. In fact, it might be just similar to what it was like on low, but it seemed a little slower. But in any case, we'll try it on the LCD here first, and then we'll try it on the OLED, and then I'm just going to put these after the low settings, I guess. So now we'll do the Steam Deck settings on the OLED here, which seems to handle it like ever so slightly better, but still not what I would consider playable all the time, but you can still be the judge of that. And now with that, we can also hop on into the game.
So let's get some camera recorded gameplay now. So far this game barely runs well enough to be playable, but there's definitely some points where it's unplayable. It'll drop under 30 every once in a blue moon. But if you can deal with that, it's not the end of the world. Nope, I'm not letting you get up. Screw you. And there doesn't really seem to be a point in doing low. So I think on the Steam Deck we'll just do medium. Because it seems like you get the exact same FPS. So why make it look worse if you're not going to get any benefit, right? Oh shit. Damn, I keep getting hit by that. Oh, they got me. Like, see everybody else try to beat that, like, mini-boss, like, effortlessly, no problem, first try. Couldn't even hit him. But me, I'm gonna lose to him quite a few times. Especially getting 36 FPS. It's not exactly great FPS for a game where you have to, like, dodge and do stuff perfectly. Ah, you didn't hit me, I dodged. Aw, you bastard. Yeah, the problem is, with these FPS, I can't really dodge properly, so we might not be beating this guy. We might just have to try fighting him for 5 minutes, and then we'll just keep trying over and over and over again until we can finally beat him. That's all you can do. We got a railgun. I can't read any of that. I think it says LT and RT to cast spells. We'll see. Alright, yeah, I can't read any of that, but cool, thanks. Alright, yeah, railgun. Alright, cool. That's a neat thing to get. Alright, so he wasn't so hard. I figured I was going to be stuck on him longer than that. Alright, do you have anything for me? No, you're all dead and junk. Yep, you're all dead and junk too. Everybody in here is all dead and junk. Okay, well, time to move on then. Okay. Now this looks like something that's gonna get thrown at me. No? I thought something was gonna get thrown at me or a ball was gonna roll at me or something like that. Alright, this actually looks like a pretty good spot to stop and move on to the Steam Deck OLED. Now let's get ourselves a little camera recorded gameplay here. I kind of want to know what's in this room first. I feel like that's probably not like, what do you call it? Ah. Can I hit him through here? Yes. Glad I came in here. What do we got? Oh, a traveler's outfit? Oh, cool, and it actually changes your way you look. I wasn't expecting that from a game like this. That's cool. Oh, glad I turned around, otherwise I would have missed a bunch of stuff. But I'm all out of heals, so I gotta be careful. At least until I find the next one of those weird things. Okie dokie. Ooh. Yep. All the way back here, huh? Lame. At least I keep all my stuff. I don't have to go and recollect the traveler's clothes or any of that shit. Oh, you bastards. Can't believe I already have to use a healing thing. How do I deal with you? Can I get up there? Yes.
Fuck you. You jerk. I thought he was impossible to get, so I just ran past him the first time I came through here. Nope, he still got me. Really doesn't take him very long to be able to charge up, does it? Alright, so you can counter field. I think with that button, I can't read it, but it's one of the two top buttons, so. There we go. Can never read what the heck they want me to do, unfortunately, with this big old graph thing in the corner here, but it is what it is. Alright, I think that's probably good for camera recorded gameplay, so why don't we go ahead and go wrap this video on up.
Well, alright guys, that's a wrap for AI Limit, and it's playable-ish. It's got its moments where it drops under 30 on both of them, but it seemed like the LCD was having more frame drop in this particular game. Maybe it's because I put it down to low. Low didn't really seem to help much. In fact, who knows, maybe it hindered, because I left the other one on medium since it didn't really seem to matter, and I think we got less frame drops, and in fact, some spots we were getting all the way up to 45 instead of 36 FPS. But who knows, it might have just been the area I was in, you know? You guys can make your own informed decision if that's good enough performance for you. I would like a little more in a game like this, so I don't know if I'd want to play on there, but if it was my only system and I was excited for the game, I think I could still make do. I just have to realize it's not going to look the greatest, and it's not going to have the greatest FPS. But it's not like it was always under 30 or anything, or always stuttering. Although I do think the LCD had more frame time skips too than the OLED did. The OLED seemed like it was getting smoother frame times. But who knows? Like I said, maybe it's because I was on low, and low was just too much, and it made it a CPU bottleneck or something. Who knows? But I'm still glad I did the game. It doesn't say it's supported or anything, so I figured these are the exact kind of games, even if nobody, you know, requests it, I can still test. And I'm also having fun with it. So I'll probably test this thing on everything just because I'm having fun with it. Even though it's probably going to be limited to 60 FPS or something like that. But when I have fun with games, I like to test them on everything, even if they're easy to run. But so far, this thing hasn't proven to be easy to run, in fact. Most of the time, if my Steam Decks and Allies and stuff can't play games well, that's when I'm like, oh, well, let's test it on the G15 Advantage and everything else. But anyway, I'm blabbing on and on here. Let's wrap this video up so I can go start on the Allies. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because I sure as hell enjoy making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.